I don't think it's so biased to where it paints anybody out to be the bad guy. You know, it just pretty much, this movie puts a mirror up to our faces and let us see what America is, what it has become, and what it has been. You know what I mean? I probably should have took a moment after the movie went off, just really think about this movie before I talk about it. But I think this is one of those movies where it's good to just speak your mind immediately after you watch it, before you get a chance to really think about it. The movie I'm talking about is American Skin, the new movie from Nate Parker, who also did Birth of a Nation. He wrote and directed this one as well. And Nate Parker does not have the best reputation in Hollywood. There was some controversy around him around the time Birth of a Nation came out, because that was supposed to be getting some Oscar buzz. And because of, I guess, his past, or his alleged past, Oscar nominations thrown out the window, he kind of got blackballed by Hollywood. And this is a Spike Lee presentation, so I'm assuming Spike Lee had a lot to do with him getting back in the game, and I'm glad he did. We need this brother, not so much in Hollywood, but we need him in films. This is one of the most important films that I've watched in a long time. This movie had me in my feelings. This movie really had me thinking, and there were times where I'm like, shit, that's some real shit right there. That is some real shit. So real quick, y'all, okay, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm just going to give you the little brief synopsis or whatever. So this is a story, okay, it's in the trailer, so I'm treading lightly here, but the Nate Parker character, his son was killed by a police officer. His unarmed black son got killed by a police officer, and of course, just like in real life, the courts did nothing about it. The cop wasn't held accountable, and he was let free, and he's left with a dead son and no justice. So unlike what really goes on in real life, this movie kind of represents, I feel, what a lot of us feel like. I wish we can just get payback on the cops, you know what I'm saying? Get our own brand of justice. And that's what he goes for. Now, where it goes, I can't say because I don't want to spoil it, but he has plans to get justice for his son one way or the other. And like I said, a lot of us, we get angry. I'm like, you know, speaking for myself, I wish that the cops that do these killings can get held in front of another jury, all right, lopsided like it is with us, and so they can be tried the way they're supposed to be tried and held accountable for what they're doing. Because police officers ain't stupid. They a lot of them know when they kill people, they're going to get off. I haven't heard any police officer that got, you know, that went to jail for killing an unarmed black kid, unarmed black person or whatever. I can see this movie pissing a lot of people off. All right, so yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of the movie, okay? And it also stars Amari Hardwick. I always have a hard time saying that. Ghost from Power. I can see people getting upset with this movie. I can see people from the right, especially, getting upset at this movie because it's not so much a jab. I don't feel it's a jab at them. I feel it's just exposing the truth. I feel like a lot of these so-called educated right-wingers, these extreme right-wingers, okay, the Candace Owens and the Brandon Tatums and all these other clowns on YouTube that share my skin color, that have the audacity and the balls to get on their platforms and say that we shouldn't be outraged with police officers killing black people because black people kill black people. I hate that statement. It's a dumbass statement. You're just trying to justify what happens to us, and they address that in this movie, all right? And I don't feel the need to address it anymore. Like, you can go back in my videos, and I speak on that a lot, so I'm not even gonna go there with that. But they tackle a lot of that stuff in this movie, and there's a scene in particular, there's a chunk of this movie in particular where it's a conversation between multiple people in multiple ethnic groups, okay? Real fucking shit, real conversation. Conversation that I feel a lot of us need to be having, but we won't have just because it's uncomfortable. It might lead to a confrontation, you know what I'm saying? But these are conversations that need to be had. And with a lot of these YouTubers, including myself, because I have my own views on things. There's YouTubers that have a different logic than me, a different perspective than me. And that's okay. This is America. We're allowed to think different, okay? We're not all supposed to think the same. But it just triggers me on certain things where it's clear as day, it's in your face, but I see it one way and this person sees it another way, and that's where the clash comes in. You know, I've even lost a couple of friends over that shit, you know, and I don't consider myself to be a leftist. I just really can't stand the right, and I'm not going to go there. I'm here to talk about this movie, but there's a chunk of this movie where that conversation is being had, and I'm watching and I'm like, I said, there you go. Yep. Thank you. And I just couldn't help but think, I mean, I recommend everybody watch this movie. This is a very important movie. It's going to tug at your heartstrings. It's going to make you upset. And it's going to make you think. And at the same time, there is some triumph. I don't want to spoil it, but there's some. When this movie was over with, I just took a moment and just sat in my chair. And I said, wow, I don't know how I'm going to do this review. I don't know how I'm going to talk about this movie, but I got to talk about it. And I'm doing that right now. This is a very important film to watch, and I could see this film getting blackballed as well, like Birth of a Nation. And I can hear some people now, well, Birth of a Nation was a bad movie anyway. He's a terrible director. He's a troublemaker. You know, you people need to stop getting so upset and playing the victim and talking about police brutality and all that. Listen, I've come to the conclusion that, you know what, we're gonna have our different views regardless. You know, I'm gonna think I'm right. You're going to think you're right. We're going to argue. We're both going to have points. You know, both of us are going to be like, okay, I'm going to make this point. You're going to make that point. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to change your mind and you're not going to change my mind. You're going to feel how you feel. I'm going to feel how I feel, okay? Even if I sat across from a Candace Owens or Brandon Tatum and presented to them with actual facts, because they're so stuck in their ways and they believe in what they believe in, they're not going to bend, you know, and that's just what it is. And I guess in reverse, they'll probably say the same thing about me. They can throw me all kind of stuff, okay? Like T.I. said, you started on some bullshit. So it's not going to solve anything. You know what I'm saying? You know, Greece is going to be Greece's, socials is going to be socials. It's not going to change nothing, but that conversation needs to be had. But one thing that we cannot deny, and they bring this up in the movie, one thing that we cannot deny, this is a powerful thing that he said in here, Nate Parker, his character. When stuff happens to us, to my black people, when stuff happens to us, you know, why are we the only ones? Why are we the ones that we have to do things peacefully? We got to protest. We got to march. We have to, you know, do all these peaceful things. You know what I'm saying? Because if we get angry or raise our voice or we're labeled as criminals. We're labeled as thugs. And then you have some of us that co-sign with the other side and say, yeah, don't be like that, man. You know, be grateful to the white man for what they gave you. Bullshit. But when white folks, I'm not trying to label all of y'all, okay, but I'm just saying how it is. When in the history of this country, when our white forefathers wanted something, they didn't march, they didn't do peaceful protests. What did they do? They took it by force. They massacred, they killed, they stole, they robbed. This country was not built on peaceful patriotism. It was constructed by blood, you know, brought by blood. Blood was shed. It was taken. And that's what we have right now as a result of that. And that's you can't argue with that because it's true. In Rosewood, a white lady was allegedly violated by a so-called black man. And what do those town people do? They didn't go there. They didn't peaceful protest. They didn't march. They didn't say justice for. No, they went to Rosewood and they destroyed that town and killed all the people in it. Tell me I'm lying, Jack. It's in there. Look it up. You got Google, don't you? Look it up. So that was a very interesting point, and I think there is no argument against that. You know, well, that was a long time ago. Listen, it still happens to this day. You know, y'all president got kicked out of office. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to take that shit by force. Y'all thought it was a movie. Y'all thought y'all was going to bust up in the Capitol and force them to say Trump is going to stay, but it didn't go y'all way. But anyways, this is a very important film. This is, you know, I can't even critique this as a regular movie. So for, you know, fuck all the, you know, the technical stuff about it. Just the subject matter of this movie is worth the price of admission. Yes, the acting is good. I think the writing was on point. I don't know how much of this was improv or how much of that was really written, but it felt like actual conversation between different groups of people, and conversations that a lot of people are uncomfortable to have face to face. Everything is through social media now, and cameras and shit like that, even YouTube, but face to face, it's hard to have those conversations because it's very uncomfortable. It makes people feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So anyways, y'all, wrapping this up. American Skin gets a solid A from me. I recommend everybody watch this. And yeah, I just recommend everybody watch it, man. I'm still processing my thoughts on thinking about it, and yeah, man. But I don't think it's so biased to where it paints anybody out to be the bad guy. It just pretty much, this movie puts a mirror up to our faces and let us see what America is, what it has become, and what it has been. You know what I mean? And what you take from that is what you take from that. So they're not trying to, they're not trying to say, okay, well, as a filmmaker, this person's a bad guy, this person's a good guy. No, it's just straight up, this is America. You take away from what you want to take from it. If you think this person's the bad guy, if you think this person, that's what you take out of it. But this is America. This is the truth. All right? And what you do with that truth, that's on you. So that's all I got, y'all. American Skin, check it out. Nate Parker did his thing on this. I expect a lot of people to hate on it. Matter of fact, it got it did get 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's got some low numbers as far as the rankings, but I understand why. Me personally, I really dug it. You know what I'm saying? And I recommend everybody watch it. So if you like and dig this content, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell in the corner. Comment freely below what you thought about the movie if you've seen it. And this is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.